How can you know something without experiencing it first? Well, there's two ways: intuition and innate intelligence. Some things you don't have to be told. Some things you don't have to experience. There are some people that you can get involved with and be confronted with that you know right then and there that you cannot deal with them. You know that you can't deal with them, you can't talk to them. You know that the only way to deal with that person is to avoid them. Unless you want to basically take matters in your own hand and either fight the person or do the person bodily harm. And I'm one of the type of people like this. I like to avoid confrontation. It's not that you're afraid. It's just that when you know that you know that you know that you know how something's going to go, because you know that that person is not rational, they're not ethical, and they're just not going to get along, and they're going to argue with you, the best thing to do is walk away. That's the best thing. That's the safe thing. God can save yourself a lot of pain and heartache. It could save you from going to jail. It could save somebody else from going to hell, literally the grave. There are just some people on this earth that you cannot deal with. Some people just cannot be dealt with. That's just the way it is. That could be because maybe they don't have a soul, which is something I highly debate. I've often wrote about soulless people. People that have no connection to their own self. I've often thought about how people can live void of a soul and even void of a spiritual connection. Not unheard of if you really study the occult and as in metaphysics. I mean, there are beings that have existed in different ages of the universe that had neither. So, I mean, looking at it like that, you can say, well, there's just some people that's no good. I mean, honestly. You got people that don't have no conscience. They go out here and they hurt children, old people, just to be doing it. Just to do it because they can. You can't deal with a person like that. I'm not going to waste my time with anyone that's out there trying to hurt someone else just to get their kicks. I think it's outlandish, abhorrent, and basically cruel. But talking about the people when you know something, it's a knowing that you can't explain. When you have a knowing of something without experiencing it, it's almost like trying to explain love. And be my guest. If you can explain love, then you tell me what it's all about. I don't know. All I know is an experience that is unlike anything else. You don't know where it comes from. You can't kill it. You didn't create it. And you damn sure can't get rid of it. But at the same time, you cannot bring love into the place of one's life if it's not there. You can't create love. You can't make yourself love someone else. Love is automatic. Love is unconscious. If I could describe love, those two words would be my only way I could describe love. It is without void. It's without understanding. It's just is. Love just is. So, love and the experience of knowing without having gone through the motions and the steps is about the same thing. Like I said, you can meet some people on the street, never met them a day in your life, and you're going to understand where they're coming from. First time meeting them, you can figure them out right then and there. And then there's some people that you can see every day for many, many years and never get a grasp on who they are. You can be married to somebody for a long time. I know that for myself and never really know that person. Longevity and association doesn't breed knowledge of anything or anyone. It's an innate, intuitive instinct that we have that allows us to know things that we've never experienced or never gone through or never been told. And that's why I say the human being is one of the most extraordinarily unpredictable, unmitigated creature ever created or that's ever evolved. There is no beginning to understand how we operate. People talk about trying to find out God or gods. Try figuring out a man, human beings. Let's try to figure us out. Then I think when we have got the grip on ourselves and the clutch has been pressed and the die has been cooled, then we could talk about everybody else. Then we could try to find that God that we've been looking for. But until we figure out ourselves, there's no way we can find anything outside of us. First, find yourself within. Trust your instinct. Trust your gut. Trust your mind. Trust your heart. When you got a knowing, and you know that you know, and you know that you have it down pat and you're right, don't let anybody take it away from you. Don't let nobody just persuade you away from it and say, "Are you crazy? You don't know what you're talking about." I used to do that myself until one day it just hit me straight in the face and said, "Boy, you better get on board. You better listen to what I'm telling you. Whenever I tell you that something's not right, it's not right. And when I tell you that somebody is not for you, they're not for you. And when you have that feeling that you can't deal with that person or persons, you better really get down and understand and accept it for what it is and stop playing around, because it could cost you your life or at least your freedom." So that's why I stick to my guns nowadays. And what I do, I learn to listen to me. And when me tell me something, regardless of what somebody else may say, I go with me. When you go with yourself and something's telling you inside that it's not worth it, and that person not for you, and that person can't be trusted, and you can't get in a dialogue with that person without arguing with that person, step aside. Because some people will make you take their life. I'm telling you. Some people, if you deal with them, they'll make you take their life. Try not to get in that condition, that predicament. It's not worth it. Peace.